So welcome to my first video on this new YouTube channel called Show Me the Charts. I set up this YouTube channel to sort of journal and share my personal trading journey over the past 4 years. Not as long as many people out there, but you might find it useful, and I certainly find it useful and have found it useful as I continue to sort of journal all of the lessons I've learned on my trading journey. So I like to refer back to it sometimes. So I think this is really useful for me, and hopefully it will be useful to you as well. So that's why I set up the YouTube channel. So, sorry, it looks a bit bland, branding wise and everything on the YouTube channel. That's likely to evolve as time goes on and I get used to the vlogging format and the workflow. The content's likely to change, the branding's likely to change, but if I'm still here, I'll change all of that, so that's not a problem. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking of covering content such as the charts. All right, I mainly trade crypto, so I'm going to cover the charts, how I trade, why I currently trade the way I do, and that's likely to change as I continue to learn. So for example, you know, this is what I trade here. This is how I structure my trading view. I look at the total crypto market cap straight away, total 1, total 2, total 3. I can know what's going on straight away from here. I look at the dollar because it's in correlation to crypto, and pretty much everything is. Bitcoin, I've got here. ETH, I treat separately, and I compare some of the alts to ETH, of course. Altcoins versus the dollar value, of course, got tons of them here. Altcoins versus their Bitcoin value, because that's important. And I cover some of the real estate stuff as well. The global markets is important to know what's going on there, in the US indices, the currencies, and just a few stocks down here. But I'll be covering a few bits and bobs. I don't know where it's going to take me or how I'm going to do this, but we'll see how it goes along. So yeah, I'll cover what type of trading I do, my portfolio and the thesis of my portfolio, mistakes I've made, that's quite important, and how I, or those of you who choose to watch, can avoid those mistakes, as they say. You know, it's better to learn from somebody who hasn't made a million and has made 100 mistakes, rather than a person who has made £1 million but hasn't made any mistakes at all. Okay, it's always better to learn from somebody who's made a ton of mistakes so you can avoid them. So yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, just quickly off the top of my head, I guess, this is the BLX chart, Bitcoin, essentially, from all of the exchanges. I like to have the BLX. I chart my macro stuff here. I'll go into this in a bit more detail in another video. I like to make notes here as well, but it's quite interesting. This is what I do macro for the macro, and then some of the other bits are just sort of daily trading. I've been making videos and I've just kind of been recording it on my phone, pointing the phone at the screen and sending it to people and to myself to make sure I sort of hold true to the plan that I make. So it should be interesting doing it in this format. Hopefully it'll be quicker as well and easier to share. So that's kind of where I want to get to, where it's just simple and just not too much trouble for me. So that's my plan. So this is kind of how I've been looking at Bitcoin recently over the past couple of weeks. I did a video a couple of weeks ago as we was moving up in this ascending triangle. I'll explain some of these indicators that I do have in a separate video as well. But basically, I like to use the fib retracement, the 50% and the 618. I like to use that. But I was tracking this ascending triangle, broke out, hit the target. I took my profits up here, and it was a macro resistance level as well, weekly resistance. That's why it's white. And a monthly resistance, which is why it's white, and the yellow one is the weekly resistance, which is why I have that there. So there was strong resistance up here, and the 48k was a 618 on the macro. So I had to take profits up here. I had to. This ascending triangle, though, we fell back down to the target at the bottom here, which is currently met. And I bought a little bit of Bitcoin there. I actually still have my alert on. I watched this as this was coming down, and it didn't touch it by a couple of dollars. And so I just kind of jumped in just in case. Good thing I did, because it didn't actually hit. I jumped in, and then we're up here now. But it's never really a good thing until you actually kind of take your profits. So I'm saying it's good right now, but you never know. This thing could smash right through, which I would actually somewhat like. I'd like it to come down here and test this long-term trend line, but I'll go into it a bit more detail on my next couple of videos. So we'll see how it works out. But that's just to say I've been following the market. Sometimes I'd like to follow it on an hourly chart, and that's why sometimes you've got these sort of small trend lines here as well. You know, when this came back down in here, it was a bear flag. That's a bear flag right there, and then it fell right through and hit the target. So yeah, I'll go in a bit more detail in all of that on later videos. But yeah, welcome. If you got any comments, feedback or anything, feel free to put them in the comments. I'm not going to take it personally or nothing like that. So yeah, I'll see you on the next video then. Subscribe, notifications if you want, all of that good stuff. Share, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.